Hey there, are you sitting down? Good, because Wayfair's end-of-season sale is here, and you can shop it from your couch. It's Wayfair's Labor Day clearance, and it's on now. Right now, you can score up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair, like up to 50% off outdoor furniture and decor, and up to 70% off area rugs, plus amazing doorbuster deals, and 24-hour surprise flash deals on Wayfair home finds in every style. And get it all with fast shipping on everything, right to your door. From furniture to faucets, this is your last chance of the season to score huge deals at Wayfair. Don't let the final days of summer pass you by without shopping these end-of-season savings. So don't wait. Like summer, these savings won't last. Head to wayfair.com today to score up to 70% off everything home. Celebrate your holiday weekend with can't-miss savings before they run out. Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 2nd at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What if I told you that the crime of the century is happening right now?
From coast to coast, people are fleeing flames, wind, and water.
Nature is telling us, I can't take this anymore.
These are the stories we need to be telling about our changing planet. Stories of scams, murders, and cover-ups, and the things we're doing to either protect the Earth or destroy it. This is Lawless Planet. Follow Lawless Planet on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. And guess what? This is your What to Watch episode for September 1st through 8th. Gotta tell you, kids are probably back to school for everybody. You are finally going to have some time for yourself. I've got a great list for you. I know that you deserve a time this week where you can just sit somewhere and just fall into a story. That's my favorite. You fall into a book, you fall into a docuseries or reality show. You can escape from the world. You can dissect different characters. Then you're going to text your friends and say, did you watch this? I've got to do a deep dive. Maybe you jump into my Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey, and think, there's got to be somebody else in here. And sure enough, there is, through the search button, who has watched this, is fired up, and will want to talk to me about this. Or maybe you listen to the other episodes that I've done where I've interviewed the filmmakers or the subjects behind some of these wild and crazy and interesting stories. This is all to say I have you covered. And if you go to katecasey.substack.com and you subscribe to my Substack, you're not only going to get the list from this week, but also all of the archive lists. So you can go back a week, a month, a year, or 2, or 3, or 4, and find what was airing in another time on another network. And it's going to be such a blessing to you this week because, again, you're going to fall into a great story. So this is what's going on this week. The first thing I want to tell you is that there are both documentaries and reality shows that you're going to get sucked into. But I also want you to listen to this week's episodes because a lot of them are going to be deep dives into subjects. Some of them will make you laugh so hard your face hurts. And I want to make sure that you're subscribed to the show. So make sure that you do that. And I also want to make sure that you're subscribed to the bonus podcast that you can find on Apple Podcasts and on Patreon, which are further deep dives. And I should let you know that Mary Payne Gilbert from Pink Shade, we are going to do a collab on bonus podcasts where I'm going to bring to her a crazy story, and then she'll bring to me a crazy story, and we're going to go on each other's shows. So the bonus episodes are super fun. And okay, so the first thing I want to tell you is Ruby and Jodi, A Cult of Sin and Influence is coming up. And if you listen to tomorrow's episode, you will hear my interview with the filmmakers. This airs on ID Discovery Monday and then Tuesday, September 1st and 2nd. It's insight into Jodi Hildebrandt's rise to power within the Mormon community through her popular Connections program and how that program led her to Ruby Franke and laid the foundation for the very twisted bond that they shared. It features extensive interviews with former clients, and the docuseries underscores the extent of Hildebrandt's cult-like and manipulative tactics that devastated the lives of the individuals who entrusted her with their struggles in hopes of helping themselves in their marriages. So unlike Ruby Franke, this one is going to trace Jodi's ascension, again, within the Mormon community via that program that she created. She was skillfully manipulating not just Ruby into adopting extremes, abusive parenting methods, etc., but many others. Now remember, Ruby Franke's strict family values meshed tragically with Jodi's manipulative teachings. So it blurred the line between help and coercion. And their truth ideology denied mainstream mental health concepts and enforced rigid conformity. This series features interviews with survivors, including former clients like Adam Steed and Jodi Hildebrandt's niece, Jessie, who offer damning insider testimony. Family members and investigative journalists also weigh in. And you are going to see chilling archival materials, police footage, news clips, Ruby's YouTube channels, journals, and court evidence. This all illuminates how the unseen abuse took place behind the family's public facade. Ruby and Jodi were arrested in August of 2023. Each pled guilty to 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. In February of 2024, they were sentenced to prison terms ranging from 4 to 30 years to run consecutively. So this one is an absolute must-watch, one you're going to be talking about with the people in your life. Ruby and Jodi, A Cult of Sin and Influence, ID Discovery, Monday and Tuesday, September 1st, and then following on the 2nd at 9. Oh, and by the way, I think you can also then find it on streaming as well. Let me double check that for you. Okay, so Chrisleys are back, and this one is back to reality. And it is debuting as 2-night events on Lifetime, airing the 1st and the 2nd at 8 p.m. And I got to tell you, the more I listen to their show post-prison, the more I'm growing hopeful that what they have said in the months after about prison reform is going to be the real shift that they need to make up for what happened, but also, I think, empower people in positions of power to bring real humanity to prison systems, which I also think have needed a huge change. So for those of you who have felt shocked by their early release, or people that have had like a distaste for them because of what's happened in the news, I understand that. And I started to listen to the podcast to kind of see what they would say post-release. And I have to tell you, I'm warming up to them. And it may not be what you suspected that I would say, but it's the truth. And I think I have been surprised by their transparency. And not just about the prison system and what they've endured, but also the reality of their own family dynamics and what they intend to do moving forward. So I'm going to watch this. And you have the choice to do so yourself, obviously. But I'm going to tell you that based on what I've heard through their podcast, I think you may look at it in a different way. So what the series is about, it's a deeply personal, unfiltered look at the Chrisley family's life following the legal troubles and imprisonment of Todd, the patriarch, and then Julie, his wife. It explores how the family grapples with hardship, reunion, and then reintegration, portraying moments like you've never before seen on reality TV, because we didn't have a family. We've had individuals, but not necessarily a family that had parents that were sent away to prison. And we have never seen such access to them as they returned. And you're going to see a lot of the same people, the children, Savannah, Chase, Grayson, and Chloe, and then the nanny, Faye, who's the grandmother. For the first time, you're going to see Julie's parents appear on screen. You will not see Todd's estranged children from his previous relationship, Lindsay and Kyle. It's going to pick up after the long-running Chrisley Knows Best, which ended amidst Todd and Julie's convictions for bank fraud, tax evasion, and conspiracy. They are charges that led them to prison sentences of roughly 12 and 7 years, respectively. So it's chronicling the family's journey from the kids fighting for their parents' release to the emotional reunion and then the adjustment. I have to say that's been the most interesting to me. I have been interested in the adjustment because I suppose it reminded me of 2 different parts of my life. The Milton Hershey School, where there are a lot of adjustments. I'm fascinated by people and adjustments, like the kids who were dropped off after the summer, how they got acclimated back into the school, and then how they acclimated when they left school to go home from the summer, where you're in a structured environment and you have to be held accountable to house parents, and then you adjust to your parents. And it's also interesting having lived in a military town and the parents that went on deployments and how children and families adjust when they're away and then when they would come back. Like I would have experiences with neighbors in the neighborhood I lived in, which was across the street from the naval base the Navy SEAL base, and there would be Navy SEALs that would say, I'm trying to discipline my kids, or I'm trying to connect with my wife, and I'm just not the same person I was before I left. And I don't know what to do about it. I feel terrible, but I'm just not the person I was before. So I think for me, somebody who really enjoys kind of looking at the broader picture and the nuances and all of that, I think this is like a really interesting case study in family dynamics and adjustments, and that's the reason I'm recommending it.
Big news! Wayfair's end-of-season sale is here. It's Wayfair's Labor Day clearance. Right now, you can score up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair, plus amazing doorbuster deals and 24-hour surprise flash deals on home finds in every style. This is your last chance to score end-of-season savings, and it's happening now. Did we mention fast shipping on everything? Don't wait. Head to wayfair.com today to score up to 70% off now through September 2nd.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
How hard is it to kill a planet? Maybe all it takes is a little drilling, some mining, and a whole lot of carbon pumped into the atmosphere. When you see what's left, it starts to look like a crime scene.
Are we really safe? Is our water safe? You destroyed our town.
And crimes like that, they don't just happen.
We call things accidents. There is no accident. This was 100% preventable.
They're the result of choices by people. Ruthless oil tycoons, corrupt politicians, even organized crime. These are the stories we need to be telling about our changing planet. Stories of scams, murders, and cover-ups that are about us and the things we're doing to either protect the Earth or destroy it. Follow Lawless Planet on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to new episodes of Lawless Planet early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Then you can watch Love, Con, Revenge on Netflix. What is this about? This is delving into a devastating world of romance fraud, which I've covered a lot. Scammers exploit emotional connections and manipulate victims online, often through online platforms, and they steal from them. It's a crime that reportedly costs Americans over $1 billion annually. So after being conned herself, you will remember Cecily, who was from Tinder Swindler. She is now helping others affected by similar scams. She's partnered with investigator Breon Joseph, and they work on tracking down scammers and supporting the recovery process for victims. Again, this is another adjustment period. So you found your power. Maybe the person that screwed you over has been prosecuted, and now you likely feel like you have a lot of resources that can be infinitely helpful to someone else. And this is a story of how they did just that. So you're going to see, surprisingly, like the first episode, I couldn't believe how up close and personal they got to the person that they were investigating. And they meet a victim. She tells her story of what happened to her. And then you're like tracking, like you're a private investigator. It's kind of bonkers. So I recommend that. It's called Love, Con, Revenge on Netflix on Friday, September 5th. Also, you just like an empowerment story, and I know I do too. If you're looking for a fun kind of escape reality show, you can watch Dish It Out on Amazon Prime Video on September 5th. This is a cooking and lifestyle series. It is starring Gordon Ramsay's daughter, Tilly, Matilda Tilly Ramsay. She is the spirited daughter that often appears in his social media. Each episode is going to follow her as she unboxes mystery ingredients and tools sourced from celebrity chefs, influencers, and even her family members. She then channels her creativity to craft dishes that range from family favorites to the latest viral food trends, and always infusing her signature flair. So I want you to think like Mystery Box meets digital foodie culture with a personal twist. And that is called Dish It Out. It's on Amazon Prime on Friday, September 5th. If you're looking for something a little bit more in-depth, you can check out Blood and Myth, which is a feature-length true crime documentary arriving on Hulu on Thursday, September 4th. This one blends a haunting real-life mystery with native folklore in the depths of northern Alaska. So at the center of the story is James Domick Jr., a descendant of Native American storytellers who become obsessed with a string of brutal crimes that devastate a remote native village. And the prime suspect is Teddy Kyle Smith, a respected actor turned fugitive, but his shocking claim suggests something far darker. He says his violent actions were influenced by encounters with mythical beings deeply entrenched in their lore. So while Western justice systems dismiss his story, James knows the legends are real, and his journey back to the village becomes a personal quest to uncover whether myth and reality might truly collide. Blood and Myth, again, is on Hulu on September 4th. If you're watching Real Housewives, this is what you need to know about this coming week. So Real Housewives of Orange County, you've got Shannon facing interrogation as she's hooked up to a lie detector. Her anxieties become a focal point as the cast seeks clarity amid swirling rumors. You've got the ladies taking turns grilling Gina on what she knows about the Gretchen-Kiki meeting. Trust and alliances will be tested. And then you can expect heated exchanges and shifting dynamics, especially around the fallout from Tamra's dramatic exit and the resurfacing roofie rumors. So that's on September 4th. However, on Real Housewives of Miami on the 3rd, Lisa is pressuring Jodi about their future. Expect emotional reflections and relationship tension. You've got Kiki confronting her dad about the past. And if you listen to the interview that I did with her last year, you'll hear a very complicated story with regard to her father. So you've got intimate family reckonings taking center stage. Marisol hosts a luxury cruise onboard experience, glamorous setting, but not without the drama. And then it ends with a surprising striptease, a bold, unexpected twist that shocks the group. And then lastly, you can watch Caregiving on PBS. So this one is executive produced by Bradley Cooper, and it provides an intimate look into America's caregiving crisis. And I'm sure, like you, like me, we are all coping with the reality that many of us are sandwich kids. We are taking care of elderly parents and children of our own. So through personal stories and expert insights, it highlights the struggles and the resilience of caregivers across the nation. The film weaves in historical context to explore the evolution of caregiving in the U.S. So that is your list. Again, Ruby and Jodi, A Cult of Sin and Influence is on ID Discovery. I highly recommend that. And then Chrisleys, Back to Reality is on Lifetime, September 1st and 2nd. LoveCon Revenge is on Netflix on September 5th. Dish It Out on Amazon Prime Video on September 5th. Blood and Myth is on Hulu on September 4th. Real Housewives of Orange County on the 4th. Real Housewives of Miami on the 3rd. And then you can watch Caregiving on PBS is currently streaming. So again, check out the Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey. Make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast. Please leave a 5-star review and also subscribe to the What to Watch list at katecasey.substack.com. And also the bonus podcasts on Apple Podcast and Patreon. And lastly, follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at @KCCA, TikTok it's Kate Casey, and Twitter Threads and Blue Sky at Kate Casey. Check back tomorrow for that interview with the filmmakers behind the documentary series you're going to want to talk about, Ruby and Jodi, A Cult of Sin and Influence.
Wayfair's Labor Day clearance is here. Right now, score up to 70% off everything home, plus fast shipping on everything right to your door. Shop now through September 2nd at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.